This is our second developer Discord stream where we are featuring our principal animator, Hadley. And he's going to be doing some behind the scenes animation work for you guys on the holdouts. He's going to answer your questions on game development.
Hey, my name is Hadley, principal animator here at Ruckus. One of the two animators here. I think I was employee numbers 1 or 0 or whatever. I'm not sure. I've been working in the game industry, interesting fact, for 21 years. Basically the day my daughter was born. That week I got my first gig in all places, but it was in Santa Monica.
Nice.
Like literally right by the pier. It was a contract job, working on WWE wrestling. So yeah, but today I'm actually behind the work because one of the worst things about working in the game industry is when you go on vacation, the work just stops and it basically pauses and waits for you to come back. So I came back and now it's just piled up and it's like, hey, I'm here.
A
So
lot of catch up to do, and you're gonna be streaming at the same time, and we're gonna be throwing questions at you and distracting you. So this will be fun. Awesome. So what am I looking at? What is this?
this is the sniper for our game. We wanted to make the sniper look unique, completely different. It's if you did any of the playtest, you'll know that Krim are one of our main enemy types. The interesting fact about him is just one character. It is not multiple characters built separately. It's actually the way they concepted it is one. I got to get his arms back. 1 second here. But it's basically one character, and we're utilizing him to make multiple characters. And if I can get this to work.
Workshop in the same model, basically, to do multiple different things to save us some workloads, essentially, right?
It was designed that way to have a lot of familiarity. It does save a lot of the work as far as if you have one character or one character that can do multiple things. They have one animation set, then all the different characters that we built out of it can have this use that same anim set. And right now, this blade is supposed to be for a different character. This portion is the sniper. Let me hide that. And this is your regular Krim. The arm pose I put on him was a prototype for a melee Krim, but we're currently not using it. Let me see if I can just select off.
Church in chat
Yeah,
says, thank you very much for taking time out to talk to us. We appreciate it and the insight you give us in regards to your work with the game. Thanks, Church.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I actually enjoy doing this. I forgot to mention that I also teach. I actually start class Thursday. I teach online at Drexel University. Although I'm in Texas, they're in Pittsburgh, I think. I've been teaching almost about as long as I've been working. I think it was 5 years out of work, not out of work, but 5 years into work. I got a teaching gig, just local junior college, and I stuck with it. It's pretty fun to do, and I appreciate you all even being here to look at this. This is one of the characters. Like, he literally has 4 arms. Because most of the time in a bigger studio, you will have what's called the tech animator, who will have basically be setting up items for myself and the other animators that will be easily, see, as you can see, I'm just turning on everything and I'm like, this is not what I'm trying to do. But there's arms that come up here as well. I just can't find them right this moment. But this guy has all the attachments, and a lot of games do this. They'll have one character with multiple attachments, multiple meshes that use the same collision cylinder, the same I say blueprints or whatever. So this makes it easier for the character to be popped in and designers to sort of swap them out and whatnot. And but that's normally on the code side of things. Our engineers, they're behind the hood making all these adjustments and that allow these things to happen. Me, I just make things move, things pretty, or try to make things pretty. So one thing I haven't done for this character, for the sniper, is make a jump. I haven't made jump animations for like literally none of the characters. No, the easiest, not easy, I would say the easiest, the funnest things to do. I can actually talk while doing them. So I'm gonna make a jump animation, and then hopefully the idea would be to implement this into the character's prototype, to jump on buildings, to get higher ground, to run away from the character. Dan, he's in the chat. He's our other animator, not the other animator. He is the the bread and butter of animation, I should say. We don't have others. We have two
The
concept
Animator.
artists, the animator, and then
Fun fact about Dan,
so
I hope I'm getting the right Dan's right. Dan was in Howard the Duck, the movie, as an extra. We have now that we have two Dans, I'm
okay.
like, oh gosh. Bad Rhymes, Joshua, our audio directors in chat, he says he's nice Dan instead of mean Dan. Which we also have our
Ooh.
concept artist Paul Richards in chat as well. Oh, we got one question already. Yari says, when it comes to being an entry level animator, what is the best way to find your style?
Constantly animating. Be honest, to have a style in animation, it's, I wouldn't say a bad thing, but it's not the best because right now we're an indie and there's two animators. So the best thing we can do is just pump as much content out so everybody can work on it. But also we want our animations to look similar to each other so that the audience can't really distinguish, oh, this animator did that, that animator did this, and then a wildly difference of style of characters running and jumping around. The only thing when it comes to style is, say you want to work in a particular genre, I'm just going to say Spider-Verse versus Disney Pixar stuff. Those are two drastic different styles. They both have all the same principles and everything else under the sun, but they're two drastic styles. So if you catered your animation to one and then you apply it to those studios, then they'll benefit you in that aspect. But not the aspect of, because I know for sure if you work for Sony, you'll end up on a film, an animated film, and then you also may end up in a live action film where the director's like, no, we don't want this extra stretchiness and everything else with it. We just want this realistic as possible. I almost want to say that's the same in a lot of, even as a concept artist or something in that nature. I mean, I can't really speak of a concept artist. Always wanted to be one though. So I am pretty, I wouldn't say jealous of our concept artists, but I am pretty envy of them.
Do you do any hand drawn art on your free time?
Used to, not so much here of late, only because I just don't tell anybody, but I don't even play games anymore. It's just life caught up with me.
I feel that. The game that I've been decompressing to after work lately though has been Vampire Crawlers. It's the other game that Vampire Survivors made. And that's been a fun, good one to not put too much brain power into, but still enjoy and have the progress and everything. I'm just
That's
not a
cool.
big PC. I don't want to sit on my computer after I'm done working, so I'm like, I need to sit on my couch and just relax and stretch out.
Yeah, I used to be able to play games like this constantly, and then I think I said in the last chat, it's just because I always play. My game cycle is from a young adult or from a high school to now has went through so many different aspects because when I had my son, no, when I had my daughter, we would play, but it wasn't like she didn't really play with me, but my wife did. She started playing with me and the whole Gears of War thing. So when she got pregnant with my son, we like played Gears of War forever. And then when my son was born, he wasn't like a bad baby or anything, but he just basically stayed in my arms the whole time while I played Gears till 3 a.m.
Aw.
So he slept good. Yeah, and then he got good enough to start playing himself, and we'll play together. Then he got so good that he didn't want me to play because I was holding him back, and then I sort of watch him play now, and he sort of
Dad,
keeps
you're
up.
ruining my KD.
Oh man, it got really bad.
When I
But
was on maternity leave earlier this year, my husband and I would play a lot of Dismantled because it's couch co-op and you can just hop in and out very easily. And that was a really fun, just you literally destroy everything in that game and just progress through it and stuff. We had a lot of fun with that one. Brownie Dog says, "What's your experience in the industry been like with job stability and all?"
nah, so oh man, that is a loaded question, and it's weird because once you get your first couple of years into the industry and you get enough connections to where you just know so many people within the industry, it does get easier to just something happens, just bounce to another studio. As of late, the worst that's happened to me is I was at Gearbox, left Gearbox to go work or play for Playful, which was literally 15 minutes the opposite way here in Frisco's and McKinney. So, and then I was there for almost a week, and then almost, I think it was like that Friday or Thursday or something, the studio just shut down. They say it didn't shut down, but it laid off 99% of the employees.
Oh no.
So, I mean, do the math. And I was like, wow, that was interesting. I was like on for a week, and then that happens, and then almost immediately everybody from Gearbox started reaching out and everything else. So then the following week, I gave it a couple days, and I just went back to Gearbox.
That's so great that
It
they
was
all reached back out to you and were like, please come back, like extending their hands and everything. And
so
those
it,
connections and everything really, really help out. When I was laid off from my previous job, I had people that I had worked with write me really great letters of recommendation for Ruckus and everything too. And even Dustin from our studio reached out to me on LinkedIn and was like, hey, we're hiring. It's people like everybody in the industry looks out for each other. It's for better or for worse, the industry is very big but small at the same time. Somebody who's worked at XYZ studio, who's worked at XYZ studio. So it's like everybody knows everybody in some sense of that way, but developers tend to take care of each other in that way. Jumbaloo asks, what's been your favorite character to animate so far?
as far as the holdouts, man, I wouldn't say this character, but dude, this guy's annoying. Hold on. Let me just show you. Oh, well, I hit his arms. He has 4 of them. There's a whole bunch of them. And then the concept artist, he wanted them all noodly, and which I respect, but we just didn't. It was tough, and it's an ongoing thing. And then the cool thing about what our concepts are doing, they're trying to reach outside of what you would normally see for a sniper. Normally, if you saw this as a sniper, you'd be like, I don't know, because they'll have like long projectile weapon or something, or a rail gun or something. But this one is pretty much, contained within itself. I think one of them is the eye right here is a target, and then this actually shoots out the laser that he snipes and stuff. So it's completely different. The character is pretty wild, but I think the squib, the little dude that's a little ball, I think that's probably one of my funnest ones to work on, only because it's just simplistic. Wait, no, there was another guy. It's like a missile turret. He was pretty fun too.
Baked wants to know, what game did you work on before the Holdouts?
There's a whole bunch of Borderlands games that came out. And that's what I worked on for a long time, for a good 13 years, I think. So it was Borderlands 2 was my first one, or actually the DLC before Borderlands 2. I think I missed one DLC after Borderlands 1, then it was like all the DLCs, and then a whole bunch of other games that I probably won't need to mention, but they're from Gearbox. But then Battleborn, and I worked on what is it? One of the Incredible Hulk games back in early 2000s, because it was like a contract thing I was doing at home. And that was pretty fun. I worked on a few children's games. I don't remember them all. Most of the stuff was just Borderlands, all the way up to Borderlands 3, and I think that was my cutoff right there before I left.
A lot of our founders came from Gearbox, so a lot of the heavy hitters here at Ruckus who are making the big decisions on what's going into the game, like the stories, the environments, the levels, the designs, and everything. A lot of them all worked together for a very, very long time at Gearbox, so everybody's got really great synergy and puts chemistry and everything. It's really cool. A Nuncio asked, how do you handle foot sliding for games?
It is a loaded question, because the animator has to do their part, and then obviously when you put it in game, it needs to speeds need to match, because that's the only way the feet will lock, is if the speeds match, unless they have come up with a newer system. So basically, this character is walking. So basically, that foot sliding that would occur right here is because the timing of the character moving forward is not at the same rate the feet are going. I don't know the exact rate this character has, but that speed is basically dictated maybe by the game designer, how fast they want the characters to walk, and we'll just match that speed in here, export it into Unreal, and then within the blend spaces, because depending on how they set it up, the way we set it up, we have blend spaces that they'll go in with certain speeds, and we'll put, say, a walk, running, and a jog, and a sprint in that blend space, and it will just match. If it goes certain speeds, it'll blend between the two animations, which will both are matching, which will help the feet not slide. But as far as characters may slide if, say, they do a turn that needs to be faster than what the game blend space can handle. feet would probably slide all over the place when they do rotations and things of that nature. But those are just the simplistic ways that Unreal does them. And I want to say there's other ways, newer ways that all the stuff is being implemented. But a terrible developer, I am not keeping up with the Joneses. Which this is the only career, well not the only, but your career is the only time when you should probably keep up with the Joneses so that you don't get left behind. Like me and my homeboy animator Dan, we are gonna be left behind, nobody's business. I already throw you under the bus, Dan, but we're a bunch of old animators that want things to stay the same forever.
So we've got a couple people in our chat right now that have blue usernames, which means that they have play tested with us before in the past. They've had their hands on the holdouts. They've played 3 missions together. They've seen some of these enemies in action. Let me ask you guys, for those of you who have played with us before, what was your favorite part of the holdouts? Like, what was your favorite experience? Was it the gunplay, the art styling, the enemy design, the quest that you had to do? Give us a little bit of your guys' side of things. Let's have some back and forth on this. Yoxo guy says, you can pet the dog. You can, in fact, pet the dog, yes. Oh, several people are typing. Church says, definitely the enemies. They were so quirky and fun, and jumping from across the pasture to slap me with claws for the first time scared the crap out of me. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Church. Is the dog a permanent companion, or do you have to get it each time? Ben, if you play as Holly, she's the diva-looking character, the pop star girl. She has her pet Pomeranian, Roxy. Roxy is out with you the entire time in your missions. You can pet the dog, and when you use her ability, it gives a buff to Roxy to do more damage. I love seeing all of the tiny little adjustments that you do as well in these animations, because this is keyframe animation. We don't do motion capture for this, and there's such a beautiful charm to keyframe animation, in my opinion. I just love it. I think it's so fun.
To me, that's why I got into it. Motion capture has its place, and I have seen wonderful animations come out of people with motion capture, and a lot of the sting behind it is because a lot of times studios, mostly game studios, will just go one-to-one and just sort of fix the middle things. But I've seen a guy who came from Ubisoft when I was at Liquid Entertainment. He sat there and like nested, like it was like a instrument or something. That got me to accept motion capture for what it was, but also use it as an art form. So whenever I did have the opportunity to use it, instead of looking at it as the bad thing, I looked at it as an opportunity to sort of learn something new. But at the same time, I did not get into animation to do motion capture. One of the things that I did do when keyframing is I used to like draw out my poses like pencil and paper and have it on a sheet of paper and everything, and then scan it in and put my character through the cycle. But it just took way too long. Do it that way until right now I'm on a sync oh my gosh, can't even say it right, a sync sketch, a Wacom, not a sync sketch, but animate on a Wacom, and you do quick doodles on got with the ink grease pen and stuff like that. But
sketchbook and stuff, yeah.
Right now I'm just trying to make something that looks feasible, good. The heights can change because normally I use the move all to do the height. I normally don't use the character's main components to get the height, just because it could change at any time. And most of the time the root is a tied. It doesn't have it on this one, I don't know why, but this right here is the actual root for the character. And this is one of our first rigs, so the root should not be moving the character, but this one does, because the auto rigging system we were using at the time, or we still using, is using an older dated one. But now the root doesn't move, but this basically is what the collision cylinder is hooked up to in Unreal or in the game. And a cylinder is approximately the height of the character. So this right here will get the character, the whole upper body outside of that cylinder. So if you were shooting them, it wouldn't register any damage, or I believe it wouldn't register any damage. So that's something I'll probably have to go back and fix. So I'm just trying to get a feel for what feels good. And right now this thing does not.
To get rid of the robot's legs, thus gaining a new rolling ability and entering the so-called rage mode. I Love that idea, Pancakio. I don't know why I keep saying your name is Pancakio. That's not how your username is spelled at all, but that's just what you're called now. Hilarious. We have a enemy in our game called the Gurgit. A lot of our playtesters, you probably saw him when you played yourself. He's the big rolling, players call him the meatball. He's like a meatball with legs. And he's got a really great roll attack that we recently added into the game. That's a lot of fun. If you guys have not already checked out Infamous's video on the holdouts or any of the other creators that played with us on Friday, we have a channel in our Discord called Content Share, and you can check out the videos that the others have made. So if you haven't had a chance to play test yet, that's a great way to get a better look at the holdouts and what to expect. And we do have a playtest this Friday as well, so we sent out invites for that yesterday. All right. Also, if you guys are I see we have a few new people in here. If you are just now joining us, if you type in the word noodly in chat, we are going to draw a winner for this Ruckus Games official trucker hat right here. Still have time to enter before I pull the winner, and you can spell noodly however you want. But again, thank you so much, Dia, for taking time out of your day. I know you're still working by doing this, but thank you for letting us distract you for an hour on your work week.
No worries. It's my pleasure.
Nencio says, if I'm rigging a character, what question should I ask the animator to help things go smoothly?
Don't ask them anything, because then you're going to be doing a whole bunch of work. A whole bunch of stuff you probably didn't even imagine that you'd be doing. Say, this is the way it is. This is the way. You just hand it to them, say, this is the way. And if they rebuttal, be like, because animators are notorious for just be like, oh, you know what? I can need this to do this thing. And then I need this to do this thing. And then you'll find yourself trying to basically building a character rig that's basically as difficult as the game itself. On all seriousness, though, I don't even know, because I haven't talked to the rigger in over 3 or 4 years, because I am the rigger. But we use the auto system to build everything up for us.
All right, guys, I'm going to pull the winner for our hat giveaway here. Let me get a little drum roll. All right, congratulations, Jumbaloo82. You have won a official Ruckus Games hat. Had a fun time here. Thank you so much, Late Chips. We really appreciate you guys all joining us for this stream. I know it's on a Tuesday, middle of the week and everything, and we're doing this in Discord right now, so you guys had to log in off of your app and everything to watch this, and we really appreciate taking your time out of your day to hang out with us, ask us questions. We really love just spending time with our community and chatting with you guys, hearing your feedback. You guys have given us so many amazing suggestions and ideas for the holdouts that we've been really excited to implement into the game. We've already made a lot of changes already based off of feedback that you guys have given us, and it's been a lot of fun. We're really dedicated to listening to you guys to make sure that we're making a game that not only is in our opinion fun to play, but it's fun for you guys, because that's the whole point. We're making this for you. This was a chill stream. I enjoyed it. Thank you. We like having these be nice and chill and relax and everything. We want you guys to feel comfortable hanging out and talking with us. Dan says, I can't talk and work at the same time. Not a lot of us can.
So what we can do is I can work and then Dan can talk on his stream.
There we
So
go.
then,
Be like
you
a
know,
host worker for him. We'll just stream your stuff and nobody will know.
You could tell them Dia's working and Dan's talking, or Dan can work and I can talk, either or.
That would work.
Dan's trying to get out of it.
We got 1 minute left. Wait, so let's speed run this one. What would you recommend for an early game development career? Should we polish portfolio work, create a higher scale project, or maybe go the indie route? That's a loaded question, but I think we can handle that, and then that'll be our last one for the day. So
I would say portfolio work only because as an animator, that's what's looked at. The project you per se are working on is not necessarily the thing that will get you in. That's more of a resume, say. I worked on X, Y, and Z, and then you might want to show proof of that, but the proof is just basically a portfolio of those animations collided together. That question will be different probably for each, I guess, discipline. But for animation and preferably probably art, it's mostly just the polish of the art asset, whatever that may be. But animation is definitely the animation itself, because animation is hard to teach really good, but it's easy to teach you the tools to put this stuff into the editor or into whatever program you're using to teach you that program. But the animation part is the part that everybody's going to be looking at.
Makes sense. All right. Well, with that, that is all the time that we have for today's developer stream. We will be back again on Tuesday with more Dia for you guys. We're going to do some more animation streams. We'll answer more questions. We'll give away another Ruckus hat. And again, if you missed last week's stream or if you missed the beginning of this one today, we are going to be uploading these to YouTube afterwards. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Thank you, Dia, so much for your time. And we will see you guys again next week.
All right, guys, take care.
Thanks, guys.